PM Modi witnessed a synergized demonstration of indigenous defense capabilities in the form of a tri-services live fire and maneuvers exercise Bharat Shakti in Pokhran Tuesday. Today, once again, Pokhran became a witness of the Triveni of India's Atmanirbharta belief and pride. Modi said, adding, it is the same Pokhran that witnessed India's nuclear test and today we witness the power of indigenization. He said those who ruled for decades were not serious about India's defense and were even afraid to build modern infra at border areas. From Tejas fighters to Akash missiles, K9 self-propelled guns, Dhanush, Howitzers and Pinaka multi-launch rocket system all proved their mettle in Thar before the PM, Minister and dignitaries from 40 nations. A government-appointed panel has recommended enactment of a new law, Digital Competition Act, to allow the Competition Commission of India to monitor large digital enterprises and intervene before instances of anti-competitive conduct take place. The move is meant to deal with entities such as Google, Facebook and Amazon that use data and supplement the Competition Act. It will apply to a list of predefined core digital services that are susceptible to concentration, the 10-member panel said in its report. BJP on Tuesday rearranged its chessboard for Lok Sabha and Assembly polls by replacing two-term Haryana CM Manohar Lal Khattar with Naib Singh Saini, a Lok Sabha MP and state BJP chief, and ending the coalition with Dushyant Chautala's Jannaik Janata Party. Chautala was deputy CM in the outgoing government. The exercise prompted by the desire to re-energize the Rainbow Coalition comprising OBCs and others that BJP has tried to mobilize to deal with Congress' plan to rally the dominant Jats against it and send a message to the socially backward categories in general. So the party's veteran Anil Vij, who held the home and health departments in the outgoing government, protesting over being passed over yet again. He is said to have left the meeting when it became clear that it was going to be Saini's day. Sources said the choice of Saini, who is from an RSS background and had started off as Khattar's protege, was meant to give a sharper edge to the social coalition under a younger leader. Sainis are said to be a decisive factor in 10 of the state's 90 constituencies and can help keep together OBCs who resent Jat dominance and account for nearly half of the population. Appointment of OBC leader Naib Singh Saini 54 as Haryana CM is a message to OBC community coming on the back of Mohan Yadav becoming CM of MP. Organization man and long-time confidant of Khattar, Saini is seen a good fit for BJP's plan to build a coalition of non-Jat OBCs to counter Congress' effort to rally the dominant Jats. Also bid to bring in fresh face after over 9 years of Khattar government. Assembly polls due in October, former Home Minister Anil Vij left out of government section of Dwarka. Khattar dropped hours after PM Modi praised his progressive leadership at inauguration of Haryana section of Dwarka Expressway on Monday. Deputy CM Dushyant Chautala of JJP dropped as ally had also shared stage on Monday. Khattar 69 joins long list of BJP CMs removed before tenure in past few years. Vijay Rupani, this. Saini says letter of support of 48 MLAs with Governor. BJP has 41 MLAs in 90-member House, Congress 30, JJP 10 and 7. Independent Toko split in JJP ranks. Even as CMs of West Bengal, Telangana and Kerala have decided not to implement Citizenship Amendment Act, state governments may have little leeway to block the centre's move to grant citizenship to minorities from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. The constitutional scheme of things puts central government in charge of all such matters, with citizenship, neutralization and alliance figuring as entry number 17 in the union list under the 7th schedule. Seeking a relook of the apex court's verdict on electoral bonds, Supreme Court Bar Association Chief Aditi Agrawala Tuesday wrote to President Draupadi Murmu requesting her to seek presidential deference on the judgment. Revealing names of corporates that had contributed to political parties would render them vulnerable to victimization, he contended. Disclosing such sensitive information that too retrospectively will result in a chilling effect on a corporate donation and participation in democratic process. Resolving the post-delimitation conundrum in Assam, Congress fielded sitting MP Gaurav Gogoi from Jorhat and retained Pradyot Bardoloi in Nagaon in Assam as per its second list of 43 candidates for the 24 election announced Tuesday. It had named 39 candidates last week. Gogoi's Kalibor seat was disbanded after after a redrawing of maps, and he was seeking either Naigaon or Johrat. While Bardoloi was wary of shifting elsewhere, the two MPs are Congress' big hopes in Assam, where poll battles have titled towards BJP after 14. Former Rajasthan CM Ashok Gehlot's son Vaibhav Gehlot will contest from Jalore, while Nakul Nath, son of former MP CM Kamal Nath, will defend Chhindwada. Vaibhav lost from Jodhpur in 19. Rahul Kaswan, BJP MP who joined Congress on Monday, will fight from Churu. Congress again focused on SC, ST, OBC minority faces, as it declared 12 of 14 seats in Assam, 10 each of MP and Rajasthan, 7 in Gujarat, 3 in Uttarakhand and 1 in Daman and Diu. Congress KC Venugopal and Ajay Makan said the 24 election is poor versus rich. The guarantees we have announced show we are trying to address issues of farmers, youth, tribals, Dalits and women. Delhi Development Authority on Tuesday opened its first restored ghat along with river Yamuna. Vasudev Ghat for public. Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena inaugurated the place and performed aarti in the evening. Spread over 16 hectares, the main ghat stretches to a length of 41-45 meters and has 25 steps to the holy water of Yamuna. The authority has got silt removed from the banks for the convenience of visitors coming to this place. The place has 5 hectare greens restored and developed in Charbagh style, stated DDA. Not just this ghat, DDA is also trying to revive entire Yamuna floodplains and other ghats in Delhi by restoring them. I am quite confident that with this, not only will the banks of Yamuna get back its old form, but people will also get a pleasant feeling by coming here. However, to maintain the sanctity of this place, we should also take responsibility in the conservation of Yamuna, Saxena said. Other attraction adorning the site included a statue of Ma Yamuna amidst beautifully carved pavilions and lush green lawns with 4 flower beds sown thematically even season. DDA has entered an MOU with a registered society for organizing Yamuna Aarti at Vasudev Ghat regularly and maintaining associated amenities. Under Delhi government solar policy, 50 megawatt grid connected rooftop system will be installed on 645 buildings of different departments and municipal corporation of Delhi. Power Minister Atishi, who approved the solar plant installation initiative on Tuesday, said the move is aligned with government's recently approved policy. The project entails installation of the solar power plants on 645 buildings, including educational institutions, healthcare facilities, DTC depots, GTL substations, and many more, which are larger than 500 square meters. The total power capacity from these plants is projected to be 50 megawatt. The Delhi solar policy passed by the cabinet on January 29 is being hailed as one of the best and most progressive policies in India. This policy is key to expand the use of solar power in Delhi's green energy contribution and total power capacity, said Atishi. The policy, however, is yet to be notified and is pending with Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena, who has raised some queries on certain provisions. Atishi said, with such an initiative, we are working towards making our government buildings more energy efficient so that they become sustainable and complete their energy needs by themselves. Government target is to generate 25% of the city's electricity through solar power plants by 2027. Under the policy, people installing solar panels on their rooftops would be encouraged generation-based incentives from the earlier policy, a capital subsidy and facility to sell their excess generated electricity in real time to other consumers in the normal capital. Walking the diplomatic tightrope in the India-Canada diplomatic spat over the killing of a Khalistan separatist in Canada, visiting New Zealand, Deputy PM and Foreign Minister Winston Peters told Tuesday that the South Pacific country respect the rule of law as much as India's territorial integrity. In New Zealand is part of the Five Eyes alliance, whose shared intelligence, according to the US, informed Canadian PM Justin Trudeau allegations about Indian involvement in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar last year in the Vancouver. In the middle of growing concerns over expanding Chinese presence in the Pacific Islands, Peters also welcomed India's efforts to shore up ties with countries in the region. We respect India's territorial authority, but we also respect the rule of law. It is not our spat, we are not a part of this, but if you ask us where we are in the rule of law, we are defenders of it. If you ask us where we are on sovereignty, land area sovereignty, and we are totally believes in it. Peter said ahead of his meeting with his counterpart S. Jaishankar. As the two countries look to ramp up defense and security ties, Peter is also expected to meet NSA Ajit Doval Wednesday. While the US and UK, also members of Five Eyes, have publicly called upon India to cooperate with the Canadian probe into the Niger murder, this is one of the rare occasions that New Zealand has spoken on the issue. In fact, the only public remark so far had came in September last year, shortly after Canada's allegations against India from then Foreign Minister Nenia Mahuta, who said if the claims were proven true, that would be of a serious concern. Peters described as encouraging India's growing involvement in the Pacific Islands while calling China's outburst against the first Australian-New Zealand 2+2 dialogue earlier this year, in which New Zealand had indicated it might join the non-nuclear pillar of AU-KUS, surprising. The US government and the United Nations on Tuesday expressed concern about the Citizenship Amendment Act 19, with the UN calling the legislation fundamentally discriminatory in nature. As we said in 19, we are concerned that CAA is fundamentally discriminatory in nature and in breach of India's international human rights obligations, a spokesperson of the Office of the UN High Commissioner of Human Rights told Reuters. He added the office was studying whether the law's implementation rules comply with international human rights law. The US has also signaled reservation. We are concerned about the notification of CAA on March 11. We are closely monitoring how this act will implemented, a State Department spokesperson told Reuters separately. Respect for religious freedom and equal treatment under the law for all communities are fundamental democratic principles, the spokesperson added. As Kerala government is facing extreme fiscal problem due to the centre's decision to put a cap on its borrowing capacity, the Supreme Court on Tuesday asked the union government to consider a bailout package as a one-time measure with a condition that the amount given could be adjusted in the first quarter of the next financial year. A bench of Justices Surya Kant and K.V. Vishwanathan asked the centre to be liberal and give some concession and clarified that the centre would be at liberty to put stringent conditions on the state for the next financial year. However, Additional Solicitor General N. Venkataraman expressed the centre's reservation in extending special treatment to Kerala, saying that the centre had rejected similar pleas of bailout packages made by other states. He said that government was literally handicapped and it could not discriminate among states. The court asked government to explore the possibilities and briefed the court on Wednesday. It was hearing a petition filed by the state against the centre's decision to impose limits on the state's borrowing capacity. The court had earlier asked both government to sit together and sort out the issue through dialogue. Khattar's exit was as surprising as his appointment in 2014, when he, a first-time MLA, was plucked from obscurity and given the responsibility because of a combination of factors. His reputation of probity at that PM Modi have looked after organizational affairs in Haryana, knew firsthand his membership of RSS and his social background as a Punjabi refugee who could head a non-Jat social alliance without refueling the feathers of dominant caste as an entrant from the peasant caste might. The same factor kept Khattar in good stead 5 years later, when the party fell short of a majority and had to enlist Dushyant Chautala as an ally. His resignation on Tuesday caught many unawares, largely because of the praise PM Modi had conferred on him less than 24 hours ago, fondly recalling their partnership going back to the days when he would pillion ride with Khattar on the latest motorcycle to carry out organizational work. Modi wished the new CM on X and said congratulations to Naib Saini on taking oath as the Chief Minister of Haryana, wishing him and his team of ministers the very best for their efforts in fulfilling the aspirations of the people of Haryana. The party appeared to have factored in the protest of Anil Vij, a consistent sulk in the two government of Khattar who would wear his grievance on his sleeves. The alliance which Chautala had in any case looked set to collapse because of his claim for a Lok Sabha seat for JJP. BJP, which swept all 10 Lok Sabha seats the last time, would not acquiesce. Sources said the rupture became inevitable after Chautala's meeting with BJP President JP Nadda, where the latter is learned to have expressed his disinclination to spare any of the 10 Lok Sabha seats the party won by large margin in 19. Former RSS Pracharak Manohar Lal Khattar's exit as Haryana CM on Tuesday, months short of becoming the state's largest serving incumbent, was unexpected as his elevation to the chief ministership in 14. Khattar was then a relatively unknown face in politics, save for his closeness to PM Modi due to their shared RSS background. As a first-time MLA, his selection was all more surprising because BJP had several contenders for the post, including ministers in earlier coalition. Had he completed his second consecutive term, Khattar would have surpassed his Congress procedure Bhupendra Singh Hooda's continuous tenure of 9 years, served 7 months and 21 days. Khattar, who took over the CM on October 26, 14, remained in office for 9 years, 4 months and 16 days, a stint that saw him involved into a politician who could be ruthless towards challengers within the party as he was against the opposition. Khattar's style of governance was put to the test when a series of job scams rocked Haryana and questions were raised about the functioning of government instructions, such as the State Public Services Commission. He also lost support among the farming community, especially Jats, during the 2021 farmers' agitation. He found it difficult to travel in the state's hinterland. One school of thought is that BJP persisted with Khattar for so long because it had no else it could immediately turn on. His ability to align with and consolidate non-Jat voters in favor of BJP endeared him to the party even as the Jat community, which has long dominated Haryana politics, turned its back on him. Barring March 17, when around 16 BJP MLAs appeared to stage a revolt, Khattar never faced any trouble during his second term, despite being despondent on Dushyant Chautala-led JJP and independent MLAs to keep the coalition afloat. True to BJP's alliance dharma, the former CM took care not to publicly utter a word against ally JJP. Many believe that it was the fragmentation of the opposition in Haryana, especially Congress, and the Modi factor that spared Khattar the blushes on several occasions during the past 9 years. The choice of an OBC face as Haryana's new CM fits snugly into BJP's strategic outreach to the backward classes, constituting 40% of the state's population ahead of elections. Many see Naib Singh Saini's catalyzing BJP's bid to polarize the non-Jat vote. That he is someone with whom Procedure Manohar Lal Khattar goes back a long way spurs the Saffron Party the risk of collateral damage due to the sudden change. PM Modi witnessed a synergized demonstration of indigenous defense capabilities in the form of tri-services live fire and maneuvers exercise in Pokhran on Tuesday. Bharat Shakti displayed an array of indigenous weapon systems and platforms as a demonstration of the country's pro-premise on Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. Prime Minister Modi attacked the opposition in his speech at Pokhran, saying after independence there was a misfortune that those who ruled the country for decades were not serious on the matter of the country's defense. Modi said, adding that it appeared they were even afraid to build modern infrastructure in the border areas. The situation was such that the first big scam after independence took place in the procurement of the army, he said. The three services demonstrated their firepowers with indigenous fighter planes, helicopters, bombs, missiles and other war equipment hitting their targets. A fighter jet supersonic bomb reverberated across the entire Pokhran field firing range, watched by delegates from 40 countries. Rajasthan CM Bhajanlal Sharma, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey, IAF Chief Air Chief Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary and Navy Chief Admiral R. Harikumar. Union Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat and Kailash Chaudhary, Rajasthan Chief Secretary Sudhansh Pant and Pokhran MLA Pratap Puri were also present. Among others, the PM Modi said in his address that the valor and skills on display were the call of New India. Today, once again, Pokhran became a witness of the Triveni of India's Atmanirbharta, belief and pride, Modi said, adding, "It is the same Pokhran that witnessed India's nuclear test, and today we witness the power of strength from indigenization." A Tejas fighter which participated in the Bharat Shakti exercises Pokhran crashed next. A Tejas fighter which participated in the Bharat Shakti exercise at Pokhran crashed near a residential area in Jaisalmer on Tuesday, in the first such accident of the indigenous single-engine jet since its induction in IAF 8 years ago. The pilot, a wing commander rank officer, managed to eject safely and substantiated minor injuries. Part of the debris fell on one of the rooms of a community hostel in Jawahar Nagar colony, which fortunately was empty at the time of crash around 2 p.m., barely 2 km around the center of the city. There were indications that the crash took place due to a snag in the engine, but an IAF officer said the court of inquiry has been constituted to find out the exact cause of accident. Missile expert R. Shinarani spearheaded a defense research development organization team that was behind India's first flight test of Agni 5 missile with multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle technology, which was launched on Monday from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Island off the Odisha coast. The 57-year-old led the missile project as program director at Hyderabad-based ASL of DRDO, which developed the missile with multiple nuclear warheads that has not only put India in the allied club of nations but also raised eyebrows in China as 5,000-kilometer range missile cover almost all of India's neighboring countries with its range. She is also Associate Director of DRDO's Ace Club ASL, which has developed Agni variants. Rani, who previously worked at ISRO's Vikram Sarabhai Space Center for 8 years, joined DRDO as a lateral entry in 1999, soon after Pokhran 2 nuclear test in 98, and had become working for Agni missile program since then. Though Agni variants have been developed and inducted into the forces under missile program, the new MIRV technology is considered Rani's crowning glory, as she put her heart and soul into developing it with her DRDO team, which includes several movement scientists. I am proud of being part of Agni missile program, as these missiles are safeguarding nations' borders, she said in a media interview earlier. Though Rani has become working with several DRDO units that are engaged in developing different subsystems of Agni missile, her work involves checking and ensuring overall health of missiles before their launch. There were butterflies in my stomach as we prepared for launch, but I did not anticipate the delirium among common public, Rani, an electronics and communication engineer, had told when India first fired Agni 5 on April 1912 and the entire world took note of it. Rani drew inspiration from missile man, ex-DRDO chief and president of India APJ Abdul Kalam. During her stint in DRDO, Rani has won many awards, including Scientist of the Year in 2016. British American Tobacco, one of the world's largest tobacco products companies that is also the biggest shareholder in tobacco to FMCG major ITC, is selling about 3.5% stake in the Indian conglomerate, aiming to garner about rupees 16,000 crore. London headquartered BAT will sell nearly 44 crore shares of ITC at a price band of rupees 384 to 400 through block deals on Wednesday. The deal's term sheet showed. At the lower end of the price band, the shares are priced at a 5% discount of the stock's Tuesday close on the BSE at rupees 404. In a day marked by fast-moving developments, BJP in Haryana dumped its erstwhile coalition partner and changed its CM about 7 months before the assembly's term is scheduled to end. BJP state government appears safe. Instead, its erstwhile coalition partner JJP is staring at a split. It's yet another example of BJP's unsentimental approach and its political hunger, traits that keep it in poll in position. Different stroke, different elections. BJP emerged the dominant party in Haryana in 14. However, patterns between Lok Sabha and Assembly elections were distinct in 19. In Lok Sabha, BJP swept the state with about 58% vote share. In Assembly elections, a few months later, its vote share dropped almost 22 percentage points and BJP fell short of a majority. Hence, the troubled coalition with JJP since in Lok Sabha, the Modi factor changes equation. BJP appeared reluctant to part with any of the 10 seats it won. Temperatures are soaring in Karnataka, literally and figuratively. Several districts are reeling under the acute drinking water shortage. In Bengaluru, 1,200 borewells have completely dried up. Politics is also heating up. Temperature rising in the run up to Lok Sabha polls. Kannadi gas must be country's trust federalists if their voting pattern over the last 25 years is a yardstick by accident or design. They ended up voting for different parties in state and general elections, a pattern that largely played out barring brief periods when double-engine government emerged, again more by accident than conscious choice. Between 1999 and 24, only for about 6 years, did the state have the same party or alliance in the historic Vidhan Saudha as in North Block. Rishabh Pant's agonizing road to recovery after the gruesome car accident in December 30, 2022 reached a happy conclusion on Monday when the Indian Cricket Board announced he was fit to play this year's IPL as a wicketkeeper batter. He was packing his bags to leave for Vizag to join the Delhi Capitals camp when the announcement was made. On his way to the airport, he spoke and his childlike excitement lit up by the ride. He wears the scar of 122 stitches running across his temple to left eyebrow with a smile, but Tuesday was more about relief and pride. Experts from the conversation. Your first reaction to BCCI's announcement? Amazing feeling. This was the thing we are waiting for. It's been so long. I think you can still cope with the layoff of 3 to 6 months, but when it goes beyond that, it starts taking a toll. I just want to go out there and play and have fun, no thinking about the future too much because you put too much pressure on yourself. Looking forward to play day as it comes. How would you describe your battle over the last 14 months? It was not just a physical battle for me. I decided to have a blast because when you are on the road while playing, you have to be eating in a certain way to be in a certain physical shape. I have planned fit. I have planned it in my mind how I had to go forward, and I had absolute clarity about it. For the first few months, I was enjoying myself when it came to food because that was the only thing that kept me sane. I was so frustrated that I thought I can't deny myself a good meal. There was nothing much I could have done, but later on I started working very hard on my fitness and nutrition. We now have a dedicated team looking after my nutrition. I gave myself about 3 months to intense workout. I know I am strongly built to endure that. I just had to get rid of a little bit of extra weight, and nutrition played a key role in it. Was there any anxiety as you came closer to regaining full fitness? I was anxious about waiting to be declared fit. I was trying to get fit before the test series against England. BCCI and NCA were very helpful. BCCI Secretary Jaisa took personal interest. They did not want to rush me to the longest format. They slowly built up the workload. That was the first part of the recovery. You have to appreciate if someone takes care of you like that. They suggested that I start with T20s and then increase the workload. Alice Perry is priceless for the team she represents, utterly valuable for the captain she plays under. The skills the Australian executes on the field is exquisite and rare in women's cricket. She is the one of the few in the history of women's cricket to play the game as a proper pace bowler all-rounder. By that, it is to be understood that she can walk into any team purely as a batter or purely as a pace bowler. She is the Ben Stokes of women's cricket. On Tuesday, in front of near full house Kotla, Perry created history during the game between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Mumbai Indians by registering the best ever bowling figure 6 for 15 in the Women's Premier League, which led RCB to an easy 7-wicket win. The Mumbai batters were also at a sea as RCB, powered by Perry's super show, bowled them out at a peltry 113. The record for the previous best bowling figures was in the name of South African Marizanne Cap 5 for 15 versus Gujarat Giants in 23. Perry's bowling on the day was a sight to behold. She targeted the stumps and got the bail to nip back from just outside the off stump. In her 6-wicket demolition job, Perry got 4 bowled and 2 LBW dismissals. After Sophie Devines got RCB's first wicket in the form of Hayley Matthews, it was a Perry show. Thereafter, the Aussie star got the ball to zag back from outside of as Sijivan Sargent's airy weft found no connection and the ball crashed into the off stump. The biggest scalp of the match came of the day very next ball. MI skipper Harmanpreet Kaur Amanjot Kaur was Perry's 4th victim, a classic off-cutter that nipped back and shattered the stump much before the batter's bat came down. In her final over, Perry completed her 5-wicket haul when she uprooted Pooja Vastraka's off-stump. So after she get the big wicket of net save Brunt, Perry 40 this and this. R. Ashwin always had respect for Rohit Sharma, the outstanding leader, but what stands out in the Indian skipper's heart to gold and human qualities, something the spinner witnessed firsthand when his mother Chitra was hospitalized during the 3rd test in Rajkot. In a society where an individual mostly thinks about one's own self, Rohit Sharma, the leader, stands for his empathy and golden heart, which makes his teammates put their bodies on the line for him. Feels Ashwin, who had to rush back to Chennai hours after he had taken his 5th 500 test wicket. On his Tamil YouTube channel, Ashwin recollected the horrifying 48 hours of his life, which also stood out of camaraderie and brotherhood amongst teammates. I was crying in my room and I was not picking calls, and Rohit and Rahul Dravid Bhai came to check on me, and I told that I could not think clearly, Ashwin recollected. I just wanted to leave and see her, and I asked the doctor how she was and if she was conscious. The doctor apparently told me she was not in position.